What a walk back. Well, welcome back, folks. It's your pal Orange Hat, here to bring you another video. This coming from Bounding into Comics. Shout out to you boys. Spencer, good man. So, after previously declaring it will piss people off, Taika Waititi says he wants his Star Wars film to recapture that joy and entertainment of the original trilogy. Taika, you'll never recapture that. You'll never capture that. You will never capture that for anyone. Your movies suck. Especially the ones that you made about Thor. That Jojo Rabbit movie, while put together nicely, you don't make Hitler a parody character. It's personal for people who were born in Germany. We don't like that. But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? It seems that Taika is walking back his, it's gonna piss people off stuff. So in continuing to earn his spot as one of, if not the most disingenuous director working in Hollywood today, after previously declaring that his upcoming Star Wars film would piss people off, Taika Waititi has since claimed that he wants the project to capture the joy and entertainment of George Lucas's original trilogy. You see, folks, small segue. When I was a boy of 2 years old, I watched the original trilogy all in one shot. What seemed like the whole day for a 2-year-old. And I remember every single emotion and experience that I felt watching those movies. I felt like I was literally watching a magic show. That I was watching something so freaking great that it was the best thing on earth for a 2-year-old. I remember the fear of Darth Vader, how the music made me understand, even at that young age, bad guy, bad, evil, scary. I understood that. I remember seeing the Death Star blow up. Pretty much visual spectacle for a kid at that age. I remember watching the second movie, how I wanted to go out and play in the snow, except that there was no snow at the time that I saw those movies. Yeah. So, I was kind of bummed about that. And then I saw the other one with the Ewoks. And I wanted a teddy bear. I wanted something to play with that looked like the Ewoks. Wicket in them. Yeah, I remember all of those feelings while watching the original trilogy. Since then, I have not seen a single movie that has brought me back to my to that 2-year-old self. There has not been a single movie that has recaptured that level of exploding my imagination. Just doesn't happen. So I doubt that a person who has pissed me off and who has basically threatened fans about how he wanted to ruin your mythos in a minute, baby, and all that other stuff, and then goes and calls them bigots because they didn't want to watch the movies. You think this guy's gonna cause that same experience? Highly doubtful. But let's move on, shall we? The now former Thor series director spoke to his supposed approach to his upcoming outing in a galaxy far, far away during a November 22nd appearance on the Kelly Clarkson show. Following a brief discussion regarding his film Next Goal Wins, Taika was eventually asked by the talk show eponymous host, "I heard that you may be doing Star Wars. Are you going to do Star Wars?" To which he confirmed, "Yeah, I've been developing that for a few years with them. And that is another mistake. When you are doing something as prestigious and coveted as Star Wars, you want to put your entire mindset in it. Like George Lucas did. When he was doing his films, that was his sole focus. To the detriment of his life. To the detriment of his family. He got divorced because of Star Wars. But his focus was so narrow, that is why it turned out so good. But hey, if this idiot is partitioning his time and thinking that his Star Wars movie is going to be any good because of that, yeah, he doesn't understand the formula that George Lucas used for Star Wars. However, in light of the film's lack of progress, the director then informed Clarkson, but I think, with any film, that one in particular is something I'd really like to get right. That tells me that you have very little confidence if you can't do it within a certain time period. So I don't want to rush it. That just also tells me that you are not qualified for it. You're taking 3 years to come up with a script. It took George Lucas 3 years to make the film completely. Anyway, so I don't want to rush it, so I'm just going to bubble along on the side. Cancel this man's Star Wars film. Cancel it. He is not willing to dedicate his time to that film. Cancel the frickin' film. To that end, Waititi then turned to expound on his overall approach to the film, telling his host, I want to capture that joy and entertainment of those early Star Wars films like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all those ones. So I'm trying to figure that out, he added, before ultimately assuring Clarkson that his film will happen. It shouldn't. He's not qualified. Look what he did to Thor. He kept his promise in that he was ruining that mythos. He ruined it completely, turning Thor into a fucking joke. As noted above, Waititi's latest attempt to promote his upcoming Star Wars film, just under 2 weeks after he proudly boasted that he was willingly developing it in a way that would infuriate fans, speaking to Variety on the red carpet ahead of the world premiere of the aforementioned Next Goal Wins, director asserted that his entry in the once beloved franchise will be dramatic. Pause. A Taika Waititi film. It's going to piss people off. Direct quote. While it's not impossible that a new film could recapture the magic, very impossible. When it comes to Taika Waititi, very impossible. The next of the original Star Wars trilogy, while simultaneously infuriating certain audiences, namely those who absolutely lap up everything related to Disney's abysmal shepherding of the franchise, he would have to turn his back on those ones. Alright, maybe it wouldn't be impossible, but yeah, he would actually have to turn his back on those ones in order to recapture the magic. Both Waititi's track record with and general attitude towards the concept of established canons does not inspire confidence in his attempt to do so. So yes, for him right now, it is impossible. Unless some multiverse, panderverse version of Taika Waititi, who is a good person, instead of the Taika Waititi that we see doing movies now, instead of the make her lame and gay. Make it good and loyal to the original fans. If we had a Taika Waititi that was like that, well, unfortunately, we never will because the multiverse panderverse thingy doesn't exist in reality. After all, this is not only the same man who ran completely roughshod over nearly every aspect of the MCU's Thor series with his flippant and self-aggrandizing handling of Ragnarok and Love and Blunder, but also proudly taunted his willingness to ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. As I mentioned earlier, yep. I will ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. Yeah, when a person simply said, is it due to your Marvel work that this mess is possible? Your writing ruined Thor, his mythos, and his character, so no, I do not want to see this film if we are truly getting a Jane Foster Thor. And yeah, he then says, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. He said that proudly, folks. Proudly. As of writing, Waititi's Star Wars film has yet to confirm any details regarding its script, cast, crew, or potential release date. Although he did want to cast Natalie Portman, except that she actually told him during the filming of Thor: Love and Thunder, I was already in Star Wars. You really want somebody who is that stupid to make a Star Wars film? Giving his most substantial recent progress report in its production of Hollywood Reporter in May, the director explained, I've got a really good idea for it. It's just as with all films, it's this middle part. You're like, what's going to happen? And then you look at all of those films that are so great, you're like, well, I guess they can't meet some smuggler with an alien sidekick. Why not? That's basically one of the main staples of Star Wars. But yeah, that's the end of this article. Taika Waititi is this walkback where he wants to capture that joy and entertainment. He'll never do that for somebody like me. I'm sorry, folks, it is impossible to do at this point with Taika Waititi. He's going to pander to the Disney fans, not the original fans who grew up and carried with their love and passion this franchise forward. So much so that some of those fans were tasked with expanding the universe. Timothy Zahn, Troy Denning, and all of them. Karen Travis, and many others. James Luceno, who did wonderful adaptations of the movies in book form, which were closer to what the script wanted, but couldn't expand on in a movie because you have a time limit. But Taika Waititi, you'll never capture that magic because you don't give a shit about the original fans. You don't care about Star Wars. If you did, you would say, okay, I have work to do, time to get to it, time to stop lazing around and put what's in my head on that page. Focus is one of the most important things you need when developing a Star Wars film. So yeah, folks, I have no faith in Disney or in Taika Waititi when it comes to Star Wars. They have taken a franchise that I have loved for decades of my life and made it a mockery of what George Lucas's vision was. So yeah, that's going to be the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. What do you think of this? Do you trust Taika Waititi? Or do you think that he is going to ruin it again? Let me know all your thoughts, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Or rather, Orange Hat. Sorry about that. Y'all have a wonderful day. And always remember, stay humble.